Hey, what is up, guys? This is time for Comic Hour, and I can't believe I haven't, been reviewing Sabretooth War because, Sabretooth War is basically where it's at right now. I know that this is part 7, Wolverine issue 47, and we're late in the game, but let's review this, this awesome comics now. Now, the comic is from writers Victor Lavelle, Benjamin Percy, and the artist is Jeff Shaw. It's it's a great comic. Let me just give you a little bit of background, and we'll go from there. Now, Krakoa, once home for all mutants, is no more, but Sabretooth is back for revenge. Upon the island's founding, Sabretooth was imprisoned for killing humans. He escaped in secrets, and his fellow prisoners, the Exiles, were offered freedom in exchange for recapturing him, but Creed had proven elusive, building an army of alternate reality Sabretooth. His first stop at Krakoa ended in disappointment and the dismemberment of Quentin Quire, who went to investigate the intrusion. Using Quentin's severed as a psychic tool, Sabretooth tracked Wolverine to a mutant refuge he'll help establish at the North Pole. Sabretooth killed countless mutants, including Wolverine's son Akihiro, and kidnapped his daughter Laura KINNEY. Quentin managed to send a psychic signal to X-Force and a separate one to the Exiles, setting all of their sights out on Krakoa, where Sabretooth was scoring Forge Lab for a weapon that could depower any mutants. Wolverine raced to stop him, but was put under Quentin's trial, killing Melter before Sabretooth used the depowering gun to strip Logan of his healing factor. Meanwhile, the other Sabretooth had sought out an unlikely ally to help them topple Victor Creed. Oof, that was a mouthful. It was a mouthful for sure. But anyway, we're starting the issue here with X-23, and as you may know, X-23 is the female Wolverine. She's inside the Orcus Station 5 cloak airplane, and they're over the island of Krakoa. Now, she's fighting these Sabretooth robots, and there's a lot of blood, obviously. She finds some type of, crawling space on top of the wall here, and she crawls in there, and the Sabretooth robots they're following her, trying to catch her, and violence and blood. That's all I could say. There's a bunch of blood everywhere. She's fighting them, and we're moving on here to a new scene in Forge's secret lab deep beneath Krakoa, where Sabretooth himself is fighting Wolverine. Again, there's a lot of blood there, and this rivalry of Sabretooth and Wolverine is amazing. They have a large, rich history. They were soldiers in the same team at once, and now they're Sabretooth wants to get the best of him. And just so you know, Sabretooth in Krakoa, he was in prison mainly because of Wolverine, and now that he got out, basically he wants his revenge, and that's why he's doing all of this stuff here. And yeah, they're fighting, and Sabretooth, basically is saying that, Wolverine is one of the best, enemy that I have. I can't live with him, can't live without him. And again, there's a lot of blood here. Wolverine pierces through Sabretooth. Lots of blood for sure. And then, we move on with the Exile. For those of you who don't know who the Exile is, they're basically multiverse character that always have been, associated with the X-Men. And they're looking, to get revenge on Sabretooth too, obviously, they have this skeleton weapon here that they're going to use. It's something that she's holding on to, that she's going to use at the right time to kill them, And she goes in there, and basically Wolverine and Sabretooth are still fighting. Now, we basically move on into the main, event here where Sabretooth is using the depowering gun powered by Quentin's soul here, and he used it on Wolverine. And what does that mean? Basically, it means that Wolverine doesn't have his healing factor anymore, which is big trouble for him. That's his main power. And he's in there and he's basically depowered, and Sabretooth has him at his mercy, But obviously the Exile showed up and they intervened, fight him off, and the Quentin here is turning against Sabretooth. Obviously wants his revenge because, in SABRETOOTH WAR Part 1, Sabretooth decapitated Quentin, as you know, and the head remained. He's still alive, and Quentin here pierces through Sabretooth. Now the Exile here, she threw that little skeleton a weapon, and it's basically a plant that just kind of like swallow Sabretooth, and I assume he's gone. He might not be dead, but I assume that he is gone and done for. Now Quentin is telling Exile that he called the team up and they're all coming to Quaqua for backup. Now we move on into one of the most, interesting scene of the comic, I think, is both of the, Sabretooth, different versions of Sabretooth. They basically brought one of the main Sabretooth guy. This is basically, his name is Bad Seed, and he is the child of Sabretooth and Mystique. He is from the future, as I recall here, and he looks really strong. He definitely looked like one, the leader of this Sabretooth alternate universe clone. And he says here, the first chance I get, I will cut each of you down. That's how they realize that this is, a creed. This is a Sabretooth. Because Sabretooth doesn't trust anybody. He will screw you the first moment where you don't lay your eyes on him. Now, he looks like he's already taking, he's already in charge, and he's, asking for his toys, which is the robots here. And he's like, I have an army, let's go get them, And here, Savage Sabretooth here is getting a report by that somebody has breached in. She's getting the report that X-23 has breached in, and X-23 here is trying to deactivate through this portal that's on the neck of all the Sabretooth robots, and she said that if she could deactivate the transmitter, maybe it will all go off and they all won't follow the leadership of those evil Sabretooth. And basically she gets in, and Savage Sabretooth here shows up, and they're fighting, lots of blood. This is like an all-out female war. And again, this comic is not for kids. It's obviously, it says on the cover, not for kids too. So, but they're fighting, and X-23 here slashes Savage Sabretooth in half. And by half, I mean literally in half. Only through her torso, all the way up, and she's in half and she's bleeding. Very violent, but very very graphic and enjoyable. Now the Exile are calling for the ship. They're making their way out, and here X-23 is calling. She's sending a signal to X-Force so that they can come and get her. But then the door opened, and the main Sabretooth bad guy from the future is here, and she's like, bad news, I already called my team. And he's like, you call for backup? Oh good, that's exactly what I want. He looks so evil and powerful. This is probably, it's going to be a hell of a fight between him and Wolverine, I tell you that. Now aboard the ship here, on the last scene, Wolverine wakes up and the Exile is there, and they're like, well, here, don't worry, you're good. And Wolverine says, the kid blasted me. Funny thing, I think he was supposed to kill me. There's more Sabretooth out there. I can't leave them to hurt other people. I gotta go. And she's like, the exile here, saying you can't go back like this. You got no powers. And he's like, yeah, you're right. Can't go like this. I'm gonna need a new suit and a weapon. And that is the comic. I've seen the new suit. This is a spoiler. I'm telling you that it's made of adamantium, and it looks very, very good. So I'm very excited for that. Overall, like I said, I don't know why I did not review this comic before. Sabretooth War is where it's at. This is one of the greatest story in Wolverine. A lot of blood, and Sabretooth alternate universe bad guys. I mean, the creation, that's the different characters of Sabretooth, the different version. It's awesome, man. I'm telling you, this is great. So get on that. Get on issue 1. I started here doing the review on the issue part 7. It's almost over. They're only going to go to part 10. Now, I have an announcement to make here for all my fans here. Thank you so much. From Comic Hour, I just created basically a Patreon. If you want more contents, and definitely sign up for that. I just put up the page right now, and everything will be set up in a couple days here. But if you want to be if you want to have extra contents and be a member, you could definitely do that. Thank you so much, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.